What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of 27 Outs. I'm Ivan, of course, alongside Stefan Martinez. If you were here last week and you're here again, shout out to you. If you're new here and you're tuning in for the first time, also shout out to you.
Hit that like, hit that thumbs up, hit that share, all that shit.
Yeah, for sure. And of
Word.
course, get us on the socials as well. We are on Instagram right there. You see it at the very bottom, 27 Outs 3C. The YouTube, we have noticed that a lot of you guys are enjoying the content. We appreciate the fact that you guys helped us reach 100 views on our first full episode within 4 days. You guys already helped us do that with the first video that we had uploaded, period, onto the channel. But yeah, again, shout out to you guys for, helping us get to that point so early on. We really appreciate it.
Listen, you guys are the stars of the show just as much as we are. I just want to get you guys to know that. Listen, the comments and the interaction we had last week was great. I'm looking forward to that again. This is gonna be a fun show. But before we get started, man, can we just tell a quick joke? Some people gonna be mad at us tonight, bro. I hope you prepared for the level of anger we're gonna cause out here in these viral streets. I'm very prepared for people to call my phone and hit me up very angry. I'm expecting to see a lot of Boston, Massachusetts on the line this week. So let's get into it, man. I'm excited.
So I we were just talking about it off the air, Stefan, and I got to bring it up again because now is when we're really gonna get into the good stuff, right? Alex Cora. For those of you who don't know, Alex Cora is entering the final year of his deal with the Boston Red Sox, and Stefan had shared a quote with me the other day where it kind of sounded like Alex Cora is still interested in being a manager, but he's also open to trying new things, if that makes sense. Stefan, it sounds like you have a hell of a lot to say, especially with what you just said a few seconds ago. So,
all right, I need you to do this for me. Seriously, stop me at any point you feel like you want to get a point in. I'm dead serious because I might be here for a couple minutes, but this needs to be said.
Take it away.
Alex Cora is leaving Boston at the end of this season. You can take that to the bank and you can almost book that like a flight that needs to be booked for travel. He's gone, right? Because
and I think it should be too.
Thank you. If you're Alex Cora, you look at what ownership is doing right now, and you say to yourself, "This is not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for a payroll to be under $200+ million. I didn't sign up for a team to have 1/5 of a starting rotation. Because outside of Brian Bale, can you name me a starter in that rotation? Can you? I don't think you can. And we're two of the biggest baseball fans in the world. Now, I can, Tanner Houck, and we can go down a list, but these guys are not household names by any stretch of the imagination. And you're asking Red Sox Nation to be patient. That's like an oxymoron if an oxymoron ever existed. You want them to go from being one of the premier franchises over the last 15 years, where all they did was basically win championships or finish in last place, to now all you're doing is finishing in last place? If I'm a Red Sox fan, I can't feel that.
Right. What I want to add on to everything else that you had already said, Stefan. I know you have a lot more to say too, but we talked about it briefly, but of course I wanted to save the rest of what I really wanted to get into for the show, of course. And now's the right time for that. I was telling you, and for those of you who are watching right now, you probably may feel the same way if you haven't already noticed it, but I was letting Stefan know that the Red Sox really haven't they were, first of all, I want to start the point off by saying this. They were wrong for trading Mookie Betts. I mean, let's start there. I mean, obviously, Xander Bogaerts, he leaves for the Padres. I don't think you wanted to give him that much anyway. You end up keeping Rafael Devers. You give him whatever it was that you gave to him, which, by the way, I kind of feel like the Red Sox did that to kind of like just give the fan base something. Like, all right, they can't say that we're completely total shit, but we at least have Rafael Devers to make it seem as if like we still are trying. But like Stephen said, they're not.
Listen, here's the problem. Here's the problem, and I'm fully ready to do this. I'm fully ready to say the most outlandish thing I've said on the show. You might want to get one of them sound effects ready for what I'm about to say. The Boston Red Sox just now started paying Rafael Devers the 10-year, $313 million extension he signed last January. It is now just starting to kick in. Right? So, if I am the Boston Red Sox, I seriously consider trading Rafael Devers as early as next winter.
I agree.
That may sound crazy because you paid him a shit ton of money and he's the face of the franchise. But he made a comment to the media. He made a comment to Jane Caffey, The Athletic, where he said, everybody knows what we need. They're just not going out and they're not doing it. Right? And so when I look at that from that perspective, when you got Rafael Devers, your star player, coming out and saying, yo, you know what we need and you're still not doing it, that's a dereliction of duty from John Henry, from everybody in the organization on down. That's a dereliction of duty. You are failing the fan base, the players, the coaching staff, and everybody associated with that organization. I'm going to say something right now. No, it's not the front office. It's the ownership group. It's the ownership group. John Henry was the one that came out this year and said, who's the owner of the Red Sox, this is going to be a full throttle off season. Motherfucker, we ain't even hit the throttle. Your foot ain't even hit the gas.
Right.
It's still on the brake pad. You don't even know where the gas pedal is. Can somebody, for the love of all that is holy about this beautiful game, explain to me how this is good?
Right. And to be honest, what I would say too, if I were Alex Cora, I don't even want to have a conversation with the Boston Red Sox after the season. Like, pay me my bread for this final year. It is what it is. But going back to that quote that I spoke on, that Cora had said, yeah, man, like if I'm him, I'm open to, listening to other teams. Like Red Sox who? Like, it was fun while it lasted. But listen, I want to know nothing about you guys anymore.
We need to come to the realization that Alex Cora is, if he's smart, which he is,
and he deserves better. Alex Cora is not a manager you want to have managing your team, but yet the roster looks like this.
All right, so this is the one thing I'll say, and this is the one comment I'm going to make. Alex Cora already knows what his next step is. Because in the article, he mentioned, I have children. My boys are about to start playing Little League Baseball. One of my kids are in college, in high school. Like, it's time to go be a dad. It's time to be the guy that's the dad that does all the trips, that packs the car, that takes a year off and says, all right, I need to get away. So it wouldn't be surprising if 2025, he's not managing anywhere. He just says, all right, you know what? For my mental health, for my sanity, for the health of my family, I'm gone. I'll take a year off. And then there are going to be a couple of spots that I foresee being open. There's going to be a couple of spots that I foresee being open. And I'm going to tell you, two of them fit him perfectly. I'd like to see him with a young team. Preferably, I'd like to see him in Pittsburgh. O'Neal Cruz, heavy Latin presence. Pittsburgh makes sense to me. The other place I'd like to see him is with the Mets.
Oh, boy.
Because, honestly speaking, that's what's going to change your franchise. Like, not that Buck Showalter didn't for that first year, because Buck is Buck, and we know how great Buck is.
And Buck, by the way, a lot of people have said this. I will also say this myself. I still think that he should have finished this final year with the Mets. But
I agree.
Each his own.
I agree. But, I look at I look at what they did with Devers, and I look at the whole situation, and I'm like, you guys are just nasty. Like, you
Right.
guys are nasty because here's the other thing, right?
It's a shit show over there.
Yo, dog, here's the other question I got for you. So you got Lucas Giolito in here. He's not going to pitch to you for you if you're lucky until middle of 2025. You are essentially eating $30 million before he even takes the ball. And at that point, if he's worth anything in gold, guess what? You're probably going to trade him. Because if he gives you 4 quality starts and you realize my team's in the crapper, why am I keeping him?
Yeah. The Red Sox, what I've noticed over the past few years, they've had some really bad luck with starting pitching.
Oh, my goodness.
They just departed ways with Chris Sale. That should have been better, I would say, especially for what they were paying him. We all remember that deal that they gave to David Price. That was a complete disaster. And then you said Giolito, you're hoping that he could be that next man up alongside. Is it Bello or Bello? Brian Bello, right?
Brian Bello.
We got to make sure we get that out properly.
You know
yeah, but you have Giolito in hopes of him being that number 2 option. Yeah. To also probably, I would say, mentor Bello too, because Lucas Giolito, he's been in the league for quite some time now. But now even that idea is no longer a thing.
Here's the one thing we know about Lucas Giolito. He's an innings eater. Because I just looked this up before we went on the air. Over the last 4 to 5 seasons, he's gave you more than 170 innings. You no longer have that now. So where are you going to get the innings to pitch is the question that I'm asking. Also, too, outside of Kenley Jansen, who's getting the ball in that bullpen?
Right.
Like, the Red Sox just totally abandoned everything that they've been when they were winning. Great pitching, middle of the order dump, and bullpen depth out that you know where.
Right.
Why this disappear? Where'd this go? Where'd you go, John Henry? You became poor. The Pittsburgh Penguins, the Liverpool soccer team. They took all your money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shout out to Michael who pointed that out earlier. He said the Red Sox ownership is too focused on their soccer team.
I'll give him something to be focused on. Yo, and I'm telling you, Boston fans are pissed.
Yeah, they are. This is not what they're used to. They're not. Since they won that World Series in 2004, I think it's right to say for the past 20 years, the Red Sox have always been relevant for the most part. Like, yeah, they've had some bad years in between those 20 years, but they've won a few championships. I mean, we could go over the years if you don't know them.
04, 07, 2013 and 2018.
Right.
Yes.
So you win that much. Oh, damn, I just made a mess here. Sorry.
Oh shit.
You win so often within, I wouldn't say such a short time frame, but yeah, some of those championships were only a few years apart. So yeah, I would say in a short time frame. So then being in a position where you're in right now doesn't sound like the Boston Red Sox at all.
No,
they sound like a completely different team.
And
they look like a completely different team too.
And the sad part is, right? The sad part is Red Sox fans are loyal. But we all know what they're waiting on. They're waiting on the Kid Meyer, they have these 3 prospects, Anthony Meyer, and the other one escaped me right now. But there's these 3 kids that they're waiting on to be the next great future Red Sox.
Right.
Here's the problem. You're in Boston. If these kids don't pan out, that fan base is not going to sit there and wait for you to figure out what the hell are you doing.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that. And I think what's good and bad about where baseball is now is that, if a kid hits, that's definitely the cheaper alternative. But the veteran is totally they're being ostracized by what's going on in the big leagues right now. Because you telling me if JD Martinez walks in that Red Sox clubhouse, he doesn't change the dynamics of that whole lineup? You telling me Devers doesn't look up at him and go, damn, thank you. Help. We need this help.
By the way, for those who don't remember, the key piece in the Mookie Betts deal at the time when the Boston Red Sox had traded him to the LA Dodgers, of course, which, by the way, that should have never happened, and I'm sure many of you would agree. But you traded the key piece to your rival. I think you know what I'm talking about, Stefan. Alex Verdugo, was supposed to be, quote unquote, the next man up after getting rid of Mookie Betts, and you just gave him to your rival. Like, for Boston,
for free. Basically,
like,
for free.
What are you doing?
For free. And I'm going to say this too. This is not a Craig Breslow problem. This is not a Craig Breslow problem. Can we stop killing Craig Breslow as if this is his problem? Yes, Craig Breslow is the new general manager of the Red Sox. This is not his problem. This is a John Henry ownership we're broke problem. They could have put me and you in there as the general manager, and we probably would have been like, how the hell do we do this? How do we do? How is this a thing? And so I think the thing that I'm starting to realize is you can't have big market teams acting like they don't know where the bread and butter is. You spend money, fans will go to Fenway.
Right.
You telling me if and I'm not saying Blake Snell is the answer to their problems, but Blake Snell is a capable guy that's going to take the ball every 5 days and is going to pitch and is a known commodity. Why is he not being discussed with the Red Sox? Why are the Red Sox not even talking? Yes, they've had meetings with Jordan Montgomery on and off. Why is one of those guys not wearing Red Sox colors right now? Help me understand this. And I'm not even trying. I don't care about the fandom. I'm talking about strictly from a baseball standpoint. How is this okay? To have one of your premier markets in the sport not spending money and being stagnant like this. I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
As a baseball fan, I'm disgusted. And yeah, you did the Brian Bale thing and they played in the DR and it was a great nostalgic moment. You saw Big Papi and Pedro and Bale got his bag. By the way, that's a nice contract for Brian Bale. 6 years, $55 million, and a 7th year with a $21 million option. So that's a nice little contract for Mr. Bale. But, I mean, my Lord.
Yeah. And
what
by
the
way,
hell?
I heard exactly what you just mentioned with the games that they just played in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame that the Red Sox are still, like, they're happier to see Pedro and David Ortiz. They're more happier to see them than they are the own team right now. Like, the actual roster, like, it's a damn shame. I mean, those guys are legends, as they are, and Hall of Famers, by the way. Let me get the term correct. They're Hall of Famers. But it's a damn shame when they show up and that's what's making headlines and not the actual team.
That's you know what's crazy is the Yankees were going through some of that recently. Like, you could say the Yankees were going through something similar with their particular group, because you remember it felt like the teams of the 90s were coming back every year. You know what I'm saying? And as Yankee fans, you got more excited for that than you did for the team. And you were like, hold on, this is what it's come to now? Like, this is what we're doing? That's really bad. And I'm sorry, but, like, yo, how do you explain this to the fan base? How do you tell them that nostalgia is going to carry us through? The last championship was almost 7 years ago. Like, yo, let's get a move on. Stop playing. Stop playing with me and the fan base. If I'm a Red Sox fan today, I am protesting outside of Fenway Park.
Yeah,
we outside.
By the way, we have 8 people watching right now. I don't know who you guys are fans of, whether it be the Yankees, Mets, maybe perhaps the Red Sox. But if there is anybody who genuinely enjoys the Boston Red Sox, Let us know how you feel in the comment section below. We could talk about this further as the show continues.
Right.
But on to the next topic. You wanted to get one more point in? Go ahead.
I'm just saying I feel bad. I feel bad for Red Sox fans. I feel bad for baseball fans. I feel bad that we have to start the show like this. This sucks. So just I know we're passionate and it doesn't matter because it's not New York and it doesn't affect us really. But when you love the game like me and this dude do, like it hurts. It hurts seeing the Red Sox act like some second-rate team. Like I'm sorry, that's just bad for the game. And that's my final thought on it.
Right. Well, speaking of teams, I guess doing the opposite. Clearly, the Red Sox.
There's that guy again. There's that guy again. Who's the guy that we just finished talking about that the Red Sox shouldn't have let go of? There he is. There's that guy again.
Who are you talking about?
Dave Dombrowski doing it again.
Oh, yes. Again. I see. I missed the reference. I missed it.
There's that guy again. There he is.
Yeah, clearly, Dave Dombrowski and the Philadelphia Phillies clearly know what they're doing over there because Zach Wheeler and the Phillies have agreed to a 3-year, $126 million deal, which I told Stefan this, and I actually have faith in Zach Wheeler, not because there's untapped potential that he hasn't shown. He hasn't he revealed it.
Word.
We already know what he is.
He's
and now that he got this deal, I think it's perfect, both for the Phillies and for Zach Wheeler.
Yo, dog, listen. It comes to a point in time where we got to look at Dave Dombrowski and be like, you might be one of the best executives in the game. Like, I don't know. I don't know if we could get any better than that. Like, he might be one of the best executives to ever do this thing. Like, yo, you realize how crazy this is? We're going to get into this contract. You know what Zach Wheeler's first contract was? 5 years, $118 million. That was the first contract with the Phillies was 5 years, $118.
Right.
Yo, what? You just walked out with like 3 years at one. Yo, that's funny. That's funny. You gotta let that sit there for a second.
Yeah.
That's funny. But guys, if you don't see any clips up, I'm afraid to put the clips up because I didn't lower the YouTube, and I'm afraid that you know what? I might play some sound. I just have to lower the volume on the YouTube.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get flagged. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up a video and we're gonna lower the sound. But like, no. Dave Dombrowski is. We need to put some respect on that guy's name as one of the top 5 executives of the last 30 years.
Right.
Please. Because even this deal, you got him extended at $42 million a year. Yo, how much money big league pitchers are making on the open market this year? They're making money, bro.
Right.
You got him extended for a reasonable price. And yes, he's going to be 37 by the time the contract ends. But let me tell you something right now. And when we look back in the next couple of years, that $42 million might be a bargain. Because Corbin Burns is getting somewhere close to 45, 46 million. Easily. Because if Zach Wheeler's worth 42, what am I worth? Because Corbin Burns been that dude. Please, somebody, you want to share your thoughts.
I like I said, I like the fact that they were able to, because this right here means to me 2 things: deep playoff runs, and obviously the ultimate goal, which is winning a World Series. And the Phillies are literally right there. Like, if we were to go name a list of maybe, I would say what, top 5 teams to make it to the World Series this year, I think the Phillies are on that list.
They're probably number 1.
Ooh.
They're probably number 1. Yeah.
Right. And I think I talked about this before too. I like how the Phillies are built. Like, they are, I think we were talking about the Braves on last week's episode, and I was telling you, now talent-wise, the Braves, of course, are ridiculous. Yeah. But we have clearly seen that it hasn't been able to translate come postseason baseball time.
Agreed.
Now, the Phillies, on the other hand, they have shown us otherwise. And because they are, I would say, doing more with less. That what makes me believe that they are one of the deeper teams in baseball.
Agreed. And here's the beautiful thing about what they're doing. The beautiful thing about what they're doing is I don't think we scratch the surface on how deep they could be. Think about how crazy that is. Like, we've seen the Phillies be good, but like, have we seen the Phillies reach full potential to the point where you're like, damn, dog, they can be scary. I don't know if we've seen that yet. And the beautiful thing about what the Phillies have, Dave Dombrowski's not going to stop being aggressive. He's not going to try and stop improving the roster. Like, if he got a chance to go out and do something, that's why I'm not fully dismissing the idea that Blake Snell's wearing a Philly uniform at some point in the next couple of weeks. I'm not dismissing it. I know it doesn't seem likely because he wants a multi-year deal, and the Phillies only seem ready to do a one-year deal. I'm cool on all that, but let's just examine this dude. He is the definition of dirty. Like can't nobody sit there and tell me he's not filthy. The stuff is just straight up filthy. It plays, and the beautiful thing is, he doesn't need the accolades or the attention of an ace. All he needs to do is go out there and be him, and he's going to be great. And that's what he's been. And the beautiful thing about it is, I don't think he outpitches the contract in terms of the number itself, because he's going to be 42 when the contract expires. Not 42, but 37. But I don't necessarily agree with that, Razor.
Yeah, I think things were already complicated for them already.
Because you want to know the truth? This free agent class is garbage.
And call me crazy too. I know Blake Snell is coming off of a National League Cy Young Award, but I think Zach Wheeler is the better pitcher.
Oh yeah, I could say the same thing for Aaron Nola. I think Aaron Nola signed for the Phillies at a discounted rate. What he got? $25 million a year. What he signed for 7 at 172, right? Do me a favor, Ivan. Go Google Aaron Nola's extension. I believe it's 7 for 172 was the number he got, right?
Yep, 7-year deal worth 172.
What is that, like $25 million a year? About right?
Mm-hmm.
If we do the math, that's about 25, right? 25, anywhere between 25 and 27, maybe. If somebody's good at math, what is the number on the Wheeler extension, guys? Is it 25?
Yeah, just about.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you got Zach Wheeler, who's been one of the best pitchers in the game for the last 3 seasons, at a bargain. Yeah, you got Zach Wheeler at a hefty price of $42 million, but compared to the contract he was coming off of, he needed this pay raise to justify staying there. Because if he hits the open market, he probably gets about that rate. Yo, shout out to Dave Dombrowski for doing the damn thing.
Yeah. And they also made another bold decision, too, by allowing Rhys Hoskins to walk. I had thought a couple years back, looking at the way they were putting the team together, I thought that Rhys Hoskins at first base was going to be a key player.
The centerpiece.
But they have shown that they clearly don't need him. And that's no disrespect to Rhys Hoskins, but sometimes what you think you once had isn't what you need moving forward.
And honestly, when you got Bryce playing first base, do I really need Rhys Hoskins taking away Bryce Harper's at bats? Because Bryce Harper wants to play the field. Like, he wants to play the field. He knows his days in right field are over. He pretty much admitted that a week ago in an article that I read. He basically admitted, like, his you know what I mean? Like his days of playing right field are over. Like, and the sad part is, yo, do you remember when young Bryce in right field? Oh, stop.
Snell is better.
Stop.
No.
Stop.
No. Stop. Michael, wait, hey, man, listen. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying. You know?
Yes, there is.
Hold on. Don't eat your boy. Don't eat your boy alive, bro. No. Yo, Mike, I'm here for you, bro. What I do want to say is this. That's not a wild take. It's not wild. It's not. I wouldn't say that, man. I would not say that. However, I do understand why Stefan is nearly. I see why Stefan is about to lose his damn mind, and we just said it. We both agreed. He said numbers don't lie, fellas. Yeah, but who do you rather want in the big game? Let me ask you that, Michael. Who is gonna get you past 5 innings? Like, let's just answer that right now. Zach Wheeler, right? Who walks less? Players. Zach Wheeler. Like he's more of an innings eater. He is definitely gonna give you more out of what you want coming from a starting pitcher. Like, you're not wild for saying that, but nah, give me Zach Wheeler. Go ahead. If Snell lasted more than 5 innings consistently, maybe. Exactly. I agree.
So, can I say this? I'm not gonna be rude. I promise. I don't give a damn about your numbers if you go on 5 innings and could barely get the ball to the bullpen's dead by the time you come back around again.
Mm-hmm.
Your 5 innings if your 5 innings was so damn great, why nobody in a league that is desperate for pitching? Why did nobody sign you yet?
Yeah.
When what you're asking for is not that unreasonable. You know why? Because in between the 2 Cy Youngs, you are a below average to average big league pitcher. Go look at his baseball reference page, Ivan. This dude's ERA was sub 3, sometimes in the 4s. Where was he? Where, bro? Am I bugging? Go look at the baseball reference page. What was his best?
I remember how bad he was in between winning both Cy Young awards.
Stop.
Like, I get it. If you want to focus on the accolades, it is what it is. But I just think Zach Wheeler is more of a complete pitcher, and I'm not really just saying that because that's what I think. That's literally what I see. Can't really say the same for Blake Snell.
All I'm saying is, listen. All right, we'll stipulate this. Let's have a conversation. Since I don't want to completely shut down your point, let's have a conversation. If you're telling me that his numbers, he was filthy at the end of last year. His ERA was like 1.22 in his last 20 starts last year.
Who are you talking about?
Blake Snell last year, his numbers were like...
yeah, he was a better pitcher in the second half than he was in the first.
But what I'm saying is, when is the time that we've seen Blake Snell carry this through for a full year? Where you put together a season where you were
the last time he did that, to be honest, he really has only done that one time in his career. And that
was in Tampa.
Yeah, when he won that American League Cy Young Award.
Right.
That was the one season that I could say he put it all together from beginning to end.
And I'm going to tell you, listen, if his agent wasn't Scott Boras, would he be paid by now? Probably.
But not for what he's asking for. 270?
9 years. What are you, out of your mind?
You're crazy.
Because I'm gonna tell you this: if he's worth 9 years at 270, then you better burn up the big truck and give Corbin Burns 350.
I'm gonna say this too. Actually, I don't think I've shared this on the show yet, but I thought going into this offseason, especially when you consider walk years, we saw what Aaron Judge did, and we just saw the season that Blake Snell put together for the San Diego Padres. I thought that he put himself in the perfect position, I would say, to get as close as he can to that deal.
Yeah.
And now that the offseason is finally taking place right before our eyes,
yep,
like it's not happening. It's just not happening. And I've said the latter part of what I just said before, but everything else before then, like, nah, man, Blake Snell, like you did it right, but it's literally blowing up right in front of your face at the same time, which shows that people don't think you're as good as you think you are.
Right, and here's the truth, right? We can look at his advanced numbers. He strikes out a ton of dudes. You know what he also does? Chronic nibble, 3-2 every other hitter where you're like, your dog.
And that's why he's always out of ball games early.
Your stuff is so damn good. Why are you nibbling on the edges, bro? Attack people. Attack. Are you pitching scared?
Right. Pitching to contact isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Not at all. Not at all. And the listen, the thing that I want to stress is that I'm not killing Blake Snell and calling him a bum pitcher. I'm just saying for the quantity of work, you're not better than Zach Wheeler. He's giving me 6 innings a start. You might not, I'm going to be honest. He might not be a better pitcher than any of those dudes in Seattle right now. I think Seattle has the best pitching staff in baseball. I think you could significantly make that case. And that's with them losing their top prospect today to Tommy John, who's going to be the closer of the future. I forgot his last name, but I know his first name is Jackson. I sent you the YouTube link in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, listen, Blake is good, but Blake got 2 things working against him, right? His asking price, his lack of innings, and Scott Boras being his agent.
Oh, you know what I also wanted to say too? Now that we're on this Blake Snell topic for a couple more minutes, we talked about it earlier today too. If you don't know, Blake Snell on his Instagram page, he posted a story with the eyes emoji. And you know, Stefan and I were chatting, and I was telling him that he's probably doing that because he has either already made a decision or he is getting very close to making that decision. Because why else would he be doing that, right? Like, you know that all eyes are on you. Everyone is aware of what you're asking for and what you won't get, as we have already made clear plenty of times on this show already.
Talk about it.
So why else are you doing that? Something is up. Something is up. And it wouldn't surprise me if within like the next 24 to 72 hours, we end up hearing Blake Snell's not assigned.
If you notice, my fingers are going. Do you guys know why? Talking to people right now as the show is happening. Like, yo, where are we at? And so...
Oh, great point, Emilio. A normal quality start is 6 innings, 3 runs or less. Snell doesn't do that. That's right. That's right.
It's
as Stefan likes to say, talk about it.
Word. Yeah. Talk about
it, Emilio.
Talk about all that. And here's the thing, right? Why I'm gonna play Blake Snell when most of these teams, you know how loaded these teams are with young pitching in the minor leagues? That I don't gotta pay no type of money to, that could turn out to be the next Blake Snell. Why? Why am I doing this? You want how much money? Hell no. And you can opt out to the cows come home. Those opt-outs ain't gonna mean a damn thing if you're pitching like garbage. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what? When you make 8 starts against the Rockies, when you make 8 starts against
Snell pitched into the 6th inning 21 times last year. Into the 6th, right? How many times did he complete the 6th?
Talk about
That's the real question.
Talk about it.
Like, I get your point, Michael. Okay, cool. He got into the 6th, but you have to actually complete the 6th, actually head into the 7th, but not come out for the 7th. I think that's the better question.
I'm gonna just let you finish up the segment, man, because I ain't got nothing to say. I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
No,
and
listen, man. Like
not with you, Mike. Not with you. I'm just done with the Blake Snell thing. I'm sick of it. I'm done with him.
No, Mike. If you feel that passionate, or if you feel all that confident in how you feel towards Blake Snell, yo, continue to talk, bro. I'm not mad at you. I mean, let's be honest. Blake Snell is not shit. He's not complete shit, bro. Like
he's a great pitcher. Right. He's great.
But it's just like, and it shows too. I mean, you know this too, Michael. You know, that's why I asked you that question a few minutes ago. I said, in the big game, who would you rather have pitching for you? Blake Snell or Zach Wheeler?
Not even.
I'm taking Zach Wheeler.
I'm gonna tell you this. All right, we're gonna hit you right where it hurts, Mike. You a Yankee fan. I'm doing this to you. You taking Garrett Cole or you taking Blake Snell?
Oh, come on. Come on. If I hear anything that is the opposite of what I have in mind right now, bro, I'm done. I'm done. Like, there's literally only one answer. I'm sorry. I know questions have more than one answer, and you can really speak on it however you want. But to answer your question, which we all should agree on one guy, but I guess that's a good way to put it.
If all right, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked last week. If your life was depending on it for a big start in the playoffs, you taking Blake Snell, you taking Garrett Cole for your life?
Garrett Cole.
No, I'm asking him. I'm not asking
sorry.
you. I'm asking him.
Depends on how. No, see, he didn't answer the question. Oh, Mike, you avoided that question, bro.
No,
this is disregarding everything else.
This
is literally like one-on-one. Who do you rather want? Forget about the team. Forget about all that extra stuff.
Garrett Cole is one of the top 3 pitchers in the game of baseball. Can we at least agree that he's top 3 in the game?
Cole is an unfair. No, not really. They both won Cy Young awards. Why is it unfair?
No, Blake Snell got 2 of them things. Come on now.
Right. Why is it unfair? No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so.
I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna let you slide. I'm not gonna let you slide. I will spend the rest of the show arguing with your ass. I'm not doing this with you.
Oh man. All right, no, let's move on from this topic because we have been on this for some time.
But I will say this.
Fun.
I will say this. I respect the fact that Mike stands his ground. Respect to you, bro. Respect to you. I think that's great that you go on, that you're a supporter of his like that. But I'll leave it at this. Blake Snell's gonna get paid by someone. He's gonna get paid by somebody. I'm not denying he's gonna get paid by somebody.
Here's what I would do if I'm Blake Snell. If you really want that money that you have in mind, that you think you deserve, go out there, sign a deal, whether it be a 2-3 year deal, even a 1 year deal. Well, not a 1 year deal, but in this case, let's say a multi-year deal.
No. What if the 1 year deal
include an opt-out after year 1 and dip and go get the money that you feel you deserve?
Okay, so what if the 1 year deal is the only thing that's available at this point during the game?
I would take it.
Bet on yourself.
Do what you did last season. If not better,
bet on yourself.
You're probably better off getting the money that you're looking for. I'll tell you that much.
Talk all the way about it.
Yeah.
Talk all the way about it. Like, even if you go to the Angels, I don't care. Go to the Angels. If that's what your preference is, go there and do the same thing you did in San Diego. And then I can't argue with you. Anyway, what's the next thing on the list, bro?
Yeah, so we talked about the Red Sox earlier, and the fact that they've looked terrible, and I had said that I feel like the beginning of what's happening right now goes back to when they decided to trade Mookie Betts to the Dodgers. But speaking of Mookie Betts and the Dodgers now, the Dodgers, well, Dave Roberts, rather, I should say, he said this publicly himself that Mookie Betts is now their permanent shortstop. Even though I don't really believe the permanent, I think Mookie Betts is more of a utility guy, and that's not a knock on him. That's actually a great thing. Usually, a utility guy isn't always necessarily the guy who's one of the best, but no, this is not a knock on Mookie Betts. He is that guy. I just want to make sure everyone understands that.
To be very clear, this utility guy won MVPs. So let's just understand this is not a normal utility guy. He won MVP.
Right.
Word. That being said, can I serious this out for a minute? Do you remember one of my core beliefs when watching baseball?
Right. Permanent for now. Shout out to you for that, Rick. Yes, permanent for now. Which even makes my point make, more sense than it already did.
Razor, you know this. Mikey, you know this. Ivan, you're going to remember this when I start to speak. What are the 3 most important positions on the field?
Catcher.
Go ahead.
Pitcher.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm wrong. Center
Catcher,
fielder.
center fielder, and
Right.
shortstop.
Shortstop. Okay, it was a shortstop I was missing.
If your up the middle's great, you're gonna win a lot of games. Look at the Dodgers up the middle and tell me it's a great up the middle right now.
Yeah.
No. Mookie Betts has never played shortstop in his life consistently.
I get it. I think he could. I think he's that athletic. He might be one of the most. He's not the most athletic guy in baseball, but I would say he's up there.
No, and I agree with that. But what I'm talking about is like that these guys are elite at their positions, right? For example, you know why I think the Mets are going to be better than people think? Look at that up the middle if it's healthy. Alvarez, Lindor, Bader. That for me is a top 5, if healthy, up the middle in baseball.
Yeah, even though Bader with the offense, it kind of ruins it, but
I don't care about his offense when you can do what he does in center field.
Right, and I love both Lindor and Bader's glove. Actually,
I love both. That's ridiculous.
I know Alvarez with the bat clearly has shown what he could do, and there's still a lot more room for him to show that he's better than that. But the glove is where he's a little shaky.
For example,
but still young.
For example, I'm going to tell you this right now: JT Realmuto, Trey Turner, and I don't even know the Phillies center fielder, but Brandon Marsh when he comes back, he's elite out there with the glove. He's elite. When you're up the middle's that good, you're going to win a lot of games. And so I look at the Red Sox up the middle right now. I'm like, your center fielder is James Ottman? Who is that if you're not a baseball fan? Do you know who that is? Probably not. You know who Mookie Betts is, but you know him for playing in right field. Will Smith, average to above average defensive catcher.
My only concern, I would say, with having Mookie Betts play so many different positions, as Stefan just mentioned, we all would rather Mookie Betts out in right field because that's what he's notorious for playing. That's where he's got his gold gloves from. I think last year he was playing second base. And then now shortstop, as we just got into with this topic. But I'm a little concerned because I wouldn't want all this moving around to kind of like interfere with his health, even though Mookie Betts has always been a guy who is known for being available. But I just, he's getting up there in age, right? And I get it, as athletic as he is, as he shows, and as he is capable of being on the field, as I mentioned, right field, second base, and now shortstop. I'm a little concerned because, you know, I wouldn't want him to get hurt as a result of all this position changing. But if there is somebody in the league who I think is capable of doing it,
it's him.
It's him.
It's him. Right? And listen, Mookie is one of the best athletes in the game. We're not even going to sit there and argue that. But you know, when your body changes and you got to go through different all types of different body changes. Like the Yankees went through this with Gleyber Torres, moving around, playing him at short from second to short, and he lost weight because he felt like he had to be in better shape, and all these things had to be lined up in order for him to be great. I'm not arguing that, but you're asking him to play shortstop for how long? That's rough. That's rough. And I hate it for him. And also, too, what it shows me is the Dodgers, they built a very top-heavy team. They didn't do a very good job of putting the complete pieces in place.
You're right. And the only reason why Mookie Betts is being moved around so much is because they're lacking in other areas.
Yeah.
But I thought you were the Dodgers and you have all this money. You just spent over $1 billion this offseason. Telling me you can't fill in it, you can't find a shortstop.
Talk about it.
You can't find a second baseman.
Talk about it. Talk all the way about it.
Mookie Betts deserves to be in right field, but I'm gonna be honest. I am looking forward to seeing how he plays at shortstop. It was cool seeing him at second base last season, but
it was cool. But second base,
I gotta see how this is gonna turn out.
Second base ain't short, bro.
It's not. It's not.
Second base ain't short, and the hard thing about it is, your body has to be ready to deal with that for 140 games a year. I don't know if his body's ready for that. I really don't. I don't know if his body's ready for that. I don't know if he himself wants to go through that at this stage of his career. Mookie's an older guy. How old's Mookie Betts? He's not yet.
Mookie Betts, he's got to be like maybe like 32, 33.
That's not, that's not old, but to transition to shortstop, that's old.
Mookie Betts, he'll be 32 this year.
To transition to, look at that gun. Got him. To transition to shortstop, that's old. Because you remember what they started saying about Derek when Derek transitioned, when Derek was going through it at 32, 33. Mm-hmm. Like oh my goodness. Wow, look at those, look at that throw. Why are we moving him from right field?
But like Rick said too, when he commented, let me see if I could pull that up again. Robert said it's permanent for now. Permanent and for now being in the same sentence just doesn't make sense. For now is for now. Permanent is more of a long-term thing rather. And I think he says that because moving forward, and we just talked about it, Mookie Betts turning 32 later this year. This can't be a long-term decision.
No.
This is something where you may try it out maybe this year, perhaps next year. But you got to have an answer by then.
You know what they're waiting for, right? I can tell you right now.
I got to hear this.
They're waiting for the Milwaukee Bucks. Do me a favor, play that Funk Flex drop for me real quick. They're waiting for the Milwaukee Bucks to do this. Know what I mean? Everything's blown up. They want Willie Adames to be the shortstop.
I'm forcing Ohtani to play the field if he ain't pitching.
Look how fast he opts out of that contract.
He should, especially for what he's earning.
He's not going to.
I get it.
And look, bro.
And the thing is, too, I don't think if you're the Dodgers, you want to do that because you paid him to hit and pitch.
Right.
You didn't pay him to play the field.
Right.
So you putting him in the field interferes with just him becoming healthy and being able to pitch and see him on the mound again. I don't really know how I feel about that.
Nah, I don't want him playing the field at all.
I want absolutely no stress on his arm.
Yes, I'm burying his glove and I'm burning it. We ain't even putting you in the field. What are we, crazy? No.
Now, what I would say though,
the only
Ohtani is that type of guy where despite him not being able to pitch at all this season, I wouldn't be surprised if he himself, because Ohtani, you could tell he loves playing baseball. He genuinely loves playing. Like it's not just a job for him. Right. It wouldn't surprise me if we were to find out Ohtani tells the Dodgers, put me in left, put me in right. It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, this will going to go against everything that I've heard because I heard he shut that down when they asked him about it.
Oh, okay.
I ain't doing
so that pretty much just knocks everything.
So if everything that I'm hearing is correct, he doesn't even want this to be an option for him or for them. I mean, you're paying a dude umpteen millions of dollars. I don't think you want to get off on the wrong foot. I really don't.
Yeah, and that's why I started off what I said prior to the type of guy that he is. And
well, Mikey boy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong because if it was me and it's my money, you're playing the field.
Right.
I'm getting as much value as I can out of him. So Mike's right on that point. I'm just saying it from a business perspective. Oh, hell no. They ain't doing that. So
yeah, it's especially not only considering what they gave to Ohtani, but what they spent overall this offseason. Like, I think you want to avoid anything that may have to like cause you to think twice. Like, if I don't know on the first attempt, like I'm not doing it. I'm just not.
By the way, how does letting Corey Seager walk right now look for them right now?
Yeah.
Because honestly, the way they're talking about Gavin Lux, the yips is a real thing. You remember back in the day, you remember Chuck Knobloch?
Yeah.
When he couldn't throw the ball from second base? That was a thing. That was real. And if you're going through that and he's as young as he is, you might destroy his confidence if you put him back at short. You really might.
You talk about you talk about the Dodgers letting Corey Seager go to the Rangers, but they've had some other guys there too, man, that they acquired and they let walk. You know, Yu Darvish there at some point, Manny Machado,
yep.
Max Scherzer. Like, these are dudes who any other team would have been doing literally every single thing that they can to keep these guys on the roster.
And you like,
the Dodgers are here just like, all right, yo, it was fun while it lasted, but I was here for a fun time, not a long time.
That Guggenheim money different, dog.
It's when you're able to say that, it's
different.
Ridiculous because not everybody can say that. No, you're right. You're right. And that's why Stephen said what he said about it. Had it been his money,
if it was my money, motherfucker, we getting a glove out somewhere. You playing somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But it ain't my money, so it's not my call to make.
Right. But also too, it'll be interesting to see, and I don't want this to happen because it would be terrible for baseball, right? I want, especially with everyone that the Dodgers just acquired, it's not going to turn out like this. I'm sure it's not. Some of those guys that they did acquire are injury prone.
Yep.
But I would love for everyone on that team to stay healthy. However, if things start to go wrong, let's say Teoscar Hernandez goes down, let's say this guy goes down, that guy goes down. What if the Dodgers are at a point where they just might have to stick Ohtani out in right or left? Could you imagine that? You spent all this money thinking that you put yourself in the best position.
So I just want to say this for the record. Dearly beloved to the Dodgers season, we're gathered here today to not only eulogize your season, but basically tell you that your season never got off the ground. Because hot damn. We're at 57 minutes. I want to end the show with this particular fun.
Before you get into that, Stephen, give me 15 seconds. Follow the Instagram. If you're watching right now on YouTube, I'm going to say this every single episode. So say it with me. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now.
First of all, listen.
If you don't want to like, if you don't want to comment, even though you should be doing that, the least that you could do is hit that subscribe button.
All right. Since the people have been asking us for bonus content, if you guys can help us to get to 70 episodes what would you say, Ivan? 70 episodes by the time we record next
70
Sunday?
Subscribers, you mean, right?
70 subscribers by the time we record next Sunday. We'll give you a little bonus content. Yeah,
we could.
But
it won't be a full episode, but it would certainly be a segment, a quality one too.
So let's just say, for instance, right? We'll give you guys something depending on what's happening in the game, right? We'll pick something out and we'll talk about it for a few, just so you guys got some extra content you guys can, have during the week. Because I know people been hitting me up like, yo, I watched the show like 3 times. I'm dying. I need some new content. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike.
I believe it, man, because I said it at the beginning of this episode, but they got us to 100 views on our first full episode in 4 days, bro.
Shout to y'all, man.
In 4 days. I didn't see that coming. But I just had to say it again because I think when people are, like you say, coming to you and letting you know that they want more content, we gave them exactly that with the first full episode. And it looks like they appreciated it.
Yeah, no. Somebody, I tell you, Mikey was like, yo, let's get them practice episodes from the vault. I'm like, nah, you ain't never seen those. Those are ugly.
Mike said, I'm about to rewatch this at the gym later. As you should. Listen, I'm a guy that likes the gym too, Mike. So as you should.
Oh man, no, but listen, shouts out to the replay gang. If there's replay members out there, shout out to y'all.
Oh yeah, like I know we show all this love to the people who are able to tune in live and they leave comments. Shout out to Emilio, Rick, Mike, everyone else who left comments too.
Right.
But also shout out to the people who wait for it to no longer be live and watch it after the fact too. Like that also matters as well. Shout out to everyone. Period.
Real quick, clip gang. If you a clip if you like the clips, we got some heat coming for you this week because this episode was full of them things. But I want to end the show on a little fun game that we did last week. Right? Let's just end this on a little bit of fun because we serious this out a few times today. So if you could pick one player to build a team around right now, who would the one player be? And it has to only be in the present. You can't pick from the past.
Right now, if I had to choose a team, one player, to build around. Wow. That's a really good question. I'm going to say, I would say Ohtani, but it's because of what he's capable of doing, pitching as well as offensively. Now, if you say Ohtani aside, if we're excluding Ohtani, right? Who is the one player that I would like to pick? Wow, man. That's a tough question.
See, because there's two players not even in the big leagues that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about guys that are about to make the big leagues.
Yeah, but how are you going to build around a team around a player that you haven't seen yet?
Because I've seen enough of him to know how good they're going.
You know, that's cheating, man. That's cheating. No, because I heard what you said about, not mentioning players from the past, but how the hell are you going to mention a dude in the damn minors, bro?
Because I watch baseball.
Like, dude was just born yesterday. He's trying to crown him as like
I know, I'm joking. If it was me, honestly,
yeah, Rick, you said it right there, man. There's rules to this game. Future MLB players don't count.
Okay, I got you. If I'm building wow. That's actually
I said Ohtani, but of course I kind of feel like that's cheating. That's obvious.
That's kind of like a given. You can
right. Damn, one guy.
That you starting.
I feel like a few years ago, and obviously I know we're talking about now, but my mind is all over the place when we're doing the show a great way, only in a good way. Actually,
no, of course, yeah.
A few years ago, I would have said, Mike Trout, obviously,
Yo, what's crazy? And I'm sitting here thinking about it right now. You know who's a guy I'd take a gamble on? I know he's not
Acuna. Nah, I wouldn't. And the reason why I say this, Mike, we said this on the last show. If you didn't hear us say it, I'll say it again.
By the way,
they won the World Series in 2021 without him, bro.
And they're gonna trade him.
Why would you even bother building around him when it has already played out in real life that he's not a guy that you need to compete?
And they're gonna trade him at some point. Alex Anthopoulos, the way he was talking on Foul Territory, shouts out to them over there. He gave them an interview, and it was like, Bryce right now.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
I'm building it around J-Rod.
Yeah, they did have Freddie Freeman, but it should have been Acuna and Freddie Freeman both carrying them throughout the postseason. Like, really be honest, Jorge. And this is no disrespect to Jorge Soler. It turned out to be a match made in heaven, but it's not what the Braves wanted. It's not.
Yeah, but you got to understand, Mike is a Freddie Freeman stan, so Mike is going to choose Freddie over his own family members. We've come to that realization. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm building my team around J-Rod.
Oh, Julio Rodriguez. I like that pick too.
J-Rod, because young center fielder, and this guy does everything on the field.
Yeah.
Everything that you want a star player to do, he does.
You know what? I got my pick right now. I got you. We spoke about him on today's show. Mookie Betts.
I'm not mad at that.
He's won with the Red Sox.
I'm not mad at that.
He's won with the Dodgers.
Yep. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
It makes sense.
That might be the perfect player right there.
It makes sense.
Yo, this dude could literally pick like stickball in the middle of Brooklyn and play every position on the field and probably kill everybody.
Right. And that was really without me considering that. But now that you mentioned it, it just makes it, an even better point.
I'm not mad on my J-Rod, though. J-Rod ain't bad. J-Rod ain't bad.
Freddie should also be in the conversation. Yeah, Freddie Freeman's a great player.
He's great, but I don't know if I'm starting a team with Freddie Freeman.
Right.
You don't start teams with first baseman. I don't know how I feel about that. But listen, I'll stipulate he's in the conversation, though. But I think J-Rod, I like your Mookie pick. Yeah, Mookie's awesome. I was gonna cheat and say Jackson Holiday just for the fun of it.
Right.
By the way, did you see this grand slam this kid hit today?
Of course.
Oh my goodness. By the way,
we talked about it off the air. I'll say it again, bro, so that the list of the viewers and everybody knows as well. I think he's gonna be better than his dad. And his dad was a hell of a player. He was good with the A's, probably even better with the Rockies.
You want some
great with the Cardinals as well.
Oh my God! When the Yankees got him, he was already old, and he was still mashing with the Yankees. But you want to hit the breaking news sound effect? Do you want to hit this? Because I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now.
All right.
Jackson Holiday is gonna start the season with the.
Oh, say that again.
Jackson Holiday is gonna start the season with the Orioles as shortstop.
I believe it.
He's gonna be the opening day shortstop. This guy's going to be 20 years old, destroying people at the big league level. You see his spring training numbers this year. This guy's OPS is like 1,200.
Ridiculous.
This guy's unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's a movie. By the way, there's a couple young guys. By the way, next week there's going to be.
Yeah, we should do that next week. Let's have a segment where we unfold.
Yes,
prospects and all that stuff.
There's going to be a segment on 3 players. So, guys, I want you to keep an eye on these 3 players. Me and I we're going to compare notes and go over it.
And we'll leave them with this.
Jackson Holiday, Wyatt Langford, because I just showed Ivan Wyatt Langford highlights. Wyatt Langford is going to be in the Texas Rangers opening day lineup as early as this year. And the third guy is James Wood, the Nationals prospect. This dude right here, dog. Ooh. They got 2 of them because they got this kid named Crows too. That is just unbelievable. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun with the stars to be of the big league level next week. So, and we leave you with that. We leave you with a bit of a cliffhanger. So, also, if you got a name that you want us to mention in the chat, leave it in the chat, and we'll talk about them, and we'll give our projections and our predictions. But this was fun, man.
Yeah, that's it for today's episode. Again, as I mentioned before, if you came back for episode 2 after already being here for episode 1
we appreciate
week, shout out to you.
Yes.
For joining us yet again. If you're new and this is your first time watching us and you had as much fun as we did, not only for ourselves, but being able to interact with you guys is really something that not only I enjoy, but Stefan as well. So, of course, follow the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already. Any last words, Stefan? Because I think I am done.
In the great words of Martin Lawrence, it ain't time to go home, but it's time to get the hell up out of here. Peace.